Keep your eyes upon Big Ben. Something supernatural is about to be seen. As I was praying, I was taken to Big Ben in London, England. I heard the Lord say, "My eye is upon this land, and my hand is upon the nation's time. A Kairos moment is about to come. I will cause a sign to come from Big Ben that will mark the moment that I have changed the time and the season for the nation of England and the city of London. Everything will stop, and people will turn to see and hear. Tell my people to mark the moment when it comes to pass, for it will be a sign of great change in the land."
Now, big moment coming up. Big Ben is to fall silent in just a few minutes' time at noon to allow construction workers to carry out extensive repairs. It won't chime again regularly until 2021. Well, let's cross over to Westminster, where our political correspondent Emma Vardy is going to be witness to history outside Parliament. Many other people turned up, it looks like they have, Emma.
Yes, there's crowds behind me, and there's crowds stretching right up to the other end of Parliament Square. It looks like lots of tourists, some people who look like they've just come out of their office just to witness this moment. And of course, it will be quite a moment because the chimes of Big Ben are a big part of life here in Westminster, and a very famous part of life in London internationally, of course. This is the most photographed building in the UK, and for anybody that walks past it quite often, like me and other colleagues who work here, well, you usually have to fight your way through a lot of selfie takers outside this building. So in its 150-year history, the chimes of Big Ben have been taken out of action a handful of times. But for them to be silenced for 4 years, that will be the longest period that they will have stopped chiming in that 150-year history. So there was quite some controversy when this was announced last week, quite a backlash from MPs and the public saying, well, is this really necessary? And we're also told that actually it was signed off by 3 parliamentary committees, and the suggestion is that actually MPs didn't quite realise that it was going to mean it was going to be silenced for 4 years.
So that must fill the great British public with real confidence that MPs know what they're doing.
Not quite like that. A few years ago, we went to the top of Big Ben, our committee, there's 9 of us, to see what a bad state it was inside, water pouring in. So we all agreed something had to be done or otherwise the clock would stop. But at no stage did we have a presentation saying that on today, at 12 noon, it's going to be silenced for 4 years.
But, you know, whenever you have work done at home, anyone who's had an extension bill or anything like that, it's an absolute nightmare. There's times when you haven't got any water, there's times when there's mess everywhere. You know, I know it's very inconvenient to you guys not having your beloved bongs, but does anyone else really care?
Oh, people up and down the country think that the sound of Big Ben is British. It's part of our DNA, frankly. And I've been telling constituents who write in asking for tours, do you realise it's going to be closed for 4 years, which is a long time in itself. But to have the bell silence for 4 years, I mean, the First World War, it was 2 years. I don't understand why in 2017 it's going to take 4 years to do the work.
Well,
and they're going to be silenced.
You've caused
at a London landmark, the historic clock tower Big Ben. It's falling silent on Monday to undergo repairs. Instead of tolling every hour as it has since 1859, with a few exceptions, the bell will take a 4-year break. Here's Charlie D'Agata.
It's a battle that's come to be known as the silence of the bongs. Triggered after the government announced Big Ben would stop ringing for 4 years.
For 4 years? You're having a laugh. I mean, 4 years. I simply don't understand it.
It's no joke, and that reaction from politician Stephen Pound is typical of those chiming in. Health and safety officials insist calling time out on Big Ben is the only way to protect the hearing of those working on the restoration of the tower.
That is the reason safety officials say they had to shut Big Ben down. There's no way work crews could operate anywhere near here with that going off.
But most of the work will be carried out far away from the belfry. One politician suggested telling those poor little darlings to put headphones on. Critics say safety bureaucrats managed something even the German Luftwaffe couldn't do: stop the bells tolling.
But Big Ben refused to stop work for a second, even if his hands did shake a bit.
It's a fact that, during the dark days of the Blitz, when, death was raining down from the heavens, people were dying, the House of Commons itself got hit. The bells carry on, the bells, the chimes of freedom.
But come Monday noon, the bells will carry on no more. And then the silence really will be deafening. Charlie Dagman, CBS News, London.